Hey amazing people, you're welcome to my channel once again. My name is Gloria. If you're new here, you're welcome to RIA'S cabin. So today's episode, I'm just going to talk about a few things to do to save energy in your household. If you're like me, that has gone through the hell and the torture of spending lots of money on bills, electricity and gas, majorly water and all of that, stick on, just enjoy this video. I'm sure I'm just going to give a few tips that I've learned myself. Disclaimer before I start, I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this from experience, right? And just from the common man perspective, I'm sure something I'm going to share is going to help you. All right, so let's just go on. The first thing I would like to suggest is make sure that you are very vigilant. The best way to start is you being vigilant in the first place. If you're not a type that is very attentive to details, like looking at your meters in the morning, especially in the morning when it starts at 0 and all of a sudden you're saying it's jumping to 60p or £1 and you know you've not done anything major for the day, you should be curious and then checking what's going on. Something is not right, because all of those are going into your bills for the month, okay? So you want to be very circumspect when it comes to something like that. The little things that leads to massive bills, okay? And the next thing is you have to learn to give exact meter readings. So for me, no matter how much that is sent to the house, as long as I'm still living in that property and I've not moved out yet, I always call back, especially when it's estimated readings. I always call back to say, okay, now I got your the bill that got to me to pay is £200 for just electricity, for example. This is my meter reading. You have to give me an exact reading, because this thing looks like it's estimated. And what do they do next? They're like, okay, I was just gonna get the new reading. You're gonna get the new reading, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we are so sorry, it was estimated. Okay, your new bill is 140. I was like, eh? So what happens? So make sure you go around your house, go and find and know where your exact meter is located, your electricity, your gas, and then give exact meter reading. Do that for your water, do that for electricity, do that for gas. Anytime a bill comes through, make sure you call them back and give them exact meter reading before you pay. Or else, yeah, sometimes your credit history kind of bills, so if peradventure they overcharged you, they may tell you, oh, we charged you extra of £10 or £15 and this is it, is accumulating for you. But sometimes just getting that extra to pay off is a lot. It's good you pay the exact amount. For me, I would say that, okay? So make sure you give exact meter readings. The next thing I would like to say is make sure you know how your boiler system works. If you don't understand how your boiler system works, please go and get an expert. I noticed so much reading. For example, my radiator is on. Yeah, I'm not putting it on, but then it's on. The thermostat is off, but the radiator is on. Why? Make sure you understand. I had to message my landlord. I'm like, something is not right here. It's costing me so much more. And then thankfully she sent out an engineer, and the engineer came and was like, oh, this is not supposed to be on. This is supposed to be turned off. This is supposed to be turned off. I'm like, eh? So in that previous month, I had spent over almost £300 on electricity and gas alone. So imagine the engineer telling me, oh, this needs to be turned off. So please understand how your boiler system works. And I want to believe that boiler system is a no-no. Like, it's somewhere I don't tamper with because of the technicality of it. I try not to go close to it, but that's why I say you have to get an expert who understands how the system works to come in and turn off all the necessary things that needs to be turned off. For example, there was one switch that was on constantly and the guy was like, no, this is not supposed to be on. It's like your kettle is constantly on. Imagine your electric jug is constantly on boil, like you're just boiling water non-stop. And no wonder my bills were accumulated. It was a mess. So please make sure you understand how your boiler system works. Turn off all the things that need to be turned off. It's going to save you lots of money. Here we have 3 switches, and the guy, when the professional came, right, this is where the stuff is, right? So this was the one he turned off, and he said that all 3, when we moved initially, all 3 were turned on, and he said it wasn't supposed to be, because this one is only for emergency reason. I don't know what the name is, but this was consuming so much of electricity, and this one it just left because these were the necessary ones. And then there's this valve here, right? One was for heating of the house, radiators and all that. This one was for water. I don't know which was which one is for which, but there was a connecting point here that was loose. So what happened was, as long as the water is constantly on, it means that the house heating was also on, which was costing us so much money. And that is why I say you have to be vigilant so that you don't pay extra, or because so many things are just running in your house. And the guy explained to us that while this one was on, it's just assumed that your kettle is constantly running and is constantly on. And of course, you know what that means, lots of money. Okay, so just be vigilant, guys, and always check things out and be very watchful of your smart meter. That's why smart meter is really to an advantage for those who don't have smart meter. Honestly, I've been there before, and trust me, they're overcharging. They're really overcharging you. So if you can get smart meters, please do. At least it can also help you to curtail it. And I use prepaid meter as well. For example, you have so many apps that are open at the same time, and you started at 100%. By the time you know it, sometimes your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi, everything is on, your data, everything is on at the same time. Before you know it, your battery is drained. And that's the same thing that happens in your house. So many things are running and it's costing you without really knowing. And before you know it, you're paying £100, £200 per month for really, when you know you didn't cook much or you didn't do much. And trust me, the minute that was done, the next week I was looking like, in a day I may not even be using anything, and then it was how I've used £5, I've used £6. How? One day he said I've used 20 something pound, I've used £9 or so. I'm like, how? Not quite exact about the number, but I'm like, how? I was not doing anything. In fact, I had to call the meter company. I'm like, what is going on? Are you charging me based on estimate? Because I can look at the smart meter on my phone and everything is how the money is going off. I'm like, how? The only thing that is on standby is my refrigerator and my freezer. And they're like, oh, you use so much energy at 5 a.m. I'm like, 5 a.m. I was sleeping. Okay, so it's very important you know what to turn off. And the minute those basics were turned off, really, like, I can't overemphasize how everything dropped. Like, I'm paying half of what I was paying the previous month. Can you imagine? Which is a good thing. Then the next thing is, know how to set your hot water on a timer. Like, set your hot water on a timer. It will save your life. Like the same with the switch that was almost as if my kettle was constantly on. It's the same thing your hot water does if you don't set it. All the houses I've lived in, I've never known how to set it. But this one, praise God, I was the guy. In fact, from that minute, I learned how to do it, and it's very simple. I'm going to show you a video of how to do it. So everyone is different, but please, this will help you learn how to turn it. If you think in the morning that's when you shower more, but that's when you do your basics and all of that, set a timer in the morning and it's going to heat up your water. That's going to take you through the day. If you think it's in the evening, set it somewhere around the evening and it's going to heat your water throughout the night and the next day for you, and it's going to be also useful for you in the evening. It will save you so much money. All right, so this is it. This one is advanced heating boost. This one is advanced hot water boost. So as it's showing here, sorry it's a bit shaky, you see off, timed, once, on, off, right? So this one is just to tell you about your heating, turn it off, turn it on, in the house. If you turn it off from here, it's mostly guaranteed that it's turned off. And this side is also for your water. It's showing off, timed, once, on, right, and off. So when it's on, it's just on constantly. It doesn't matter if your timing was for 6 p.m. in the day. Once you put it on, it comes on instantly. But if you put it in once, it can just heat up for a while, right, and then you turn it off. While this one is timed. So for example, the timed one, if you click on set, you see programs, you go here, this thing is different. This is a brand called Drayton, so it's quite different. This is program. You click on it, it shows you this and that, and Monday, Tuesday for the week. Mine is set at just different times. This is in PM, right? So yeah, I should go off by this time. It's practically easy for you to just understand. On, off, on, off. I had so many timers set up Saturday, so this is for Saturday and Sunday. When it comes on, if you want to set it, you can click on the program and it automatically comes on, and then you can start setting. But I don't want to set anything right now, so you can go back. It turns off by 7 a.m. I have different timers for weekend and weekend this Saturday and Sunday and for weekday. So it's just for you to understand your own time. I don't want to go through this whole process and start changing settings and all of that. But if you understand this, honestly, you save yourself some good amount of money. This brand is called Drayton. I'm sure there are different brands out there, so check it and go online on Google or YouTube. It will help you guys. The other thing is your radiators. If you're turning on your radiators, you know, in winter you're heating the thermostat. Instead of, if you have, let's say you live in a big house of 5 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 3 bedroom, right? You think, oh, I only stay in 2 bedrooms out of the 3. Why not turn off the one in the lounge, turn off the one in the kitchen, turn off the one in the extra room? You may think you're saving a lot more money, but no, I'm telling you, you're not. The best thing is for you to turn the knob of your radiators to 1, the minimum, especially in the rooms that you're not using, the lounge, you know, or the corners or the corridors. Turn it to 1. In that way, there is cross circulation rather than all the heating. It's like there is a compound force in just those 2 rooms you're using. At the end of the day, you spend more. Okay, so just put all your radiators, you know, at number 1 and number 2, the minimum, and then the major rooms that you're in, you can put in number 4, number 5. In that way, it will save you a lot more. Trust me, I have done all of this. I've tried to be very minimalistic. It backfired, so this is the new way. Another thing I would like to suggest is how you compare the market. You can call different energy and gas company to tell you, oh, what is your price? What's your price? What's your price? Let them give you their unit rate and all of that, and then you can compare which one is best. Which one is best? If it's higher, it's lower, you can now choose, okay, this one is better. Use apps like Money Supermarket. Maybe go compare. I'm sure there are other apps out there that focus on how to compare prices. You can also use your credit rating score apps, you know, Clear Score, Experian. They tend to give you competitive rates in the market that you can swap to. And please be very mindful, because sometimes in summer it may be cheaper, in winter it may be more expensive. You should know your rates. That would also help you. I have done all of this, and trust me, you just need to be wise and very sharp and circumspect about this thing. I think the word is being very attentive to details. That's just one way to help you. Okay, and always use, if you have a smart meter, always look at it. For example, or my current electricity and gas company, they have their apps, you know, that they can use to monitor. You can use to monitor how much you're spending for the week, the month. It's just like a smart meter that you have in the house as well. So utilize all of these things. They're gonna help you. They've helped me, and we're in a time where bills are just skyrocketing. Every little helps. Okay. All right, I hope these little tips of mine were able to help you one way or the other. If any other thing comes to my mind, I'm going to just put it on the screen, okay, as it goes through. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Okay, enjoy yourself. Take care. Bye.